Well, let's shift our focus back to the High Court and its observation on Moose Wala's murder. Now, in a major setback for the Punjab government, the Punjab and Haryana High Court has ordered the state government to restore security of all 434 people whose security was downgraded. The High Court also questioned the government over the leak of the document in which the names of those to lose the security were revealed. We'll try and get you more details, but this is the big story this hour, where the Punjab and Haryana High Court has come down heavily over the UP government and has also asked, in fact, wrapped the Punjab government, questioned them as to why did they downgrade the security of 434 VIPs. Remember, it was after this development that Sidhu Moose Wala was murdered, where 30 bullets were fired at his van, and this eventually led to his death. This exactly happened a day after this order by the Punjab government came out. Of course, the opposition also came down heavily over the UP government in Punjab, questioning them, in fact, blaming this particular step behind Moose Wala's murder. And now the Punjab and Haryana High Court has also ordered the state government to restore the security of all those people whose security was downgraded. In fact, the High Court also questioned the document leak in which, remember, the names of all these 434 people were revealed. The court went on to question why this document was leaked, and perhaps this also sort of led to the murder of Moose Wala. Gurpreet is with me with more details. Gurpreet, what are the details in this particular case? Of course, we know that the High Court has ordered the restoration of the security and also questioned the document leak.
Well, yes, of course, we have seen the Aam Aadmi Party government that was totally at the back foot. It was decided to just take the security back, and they were trying to brag and boast a few days back. They were saying that VVIP culture has been uprooted from state of Punjab. After that, we have seen one of the Akali Neta, he has approached the Punjab and Haryana High Court saying that he is under threat, but his security had been withdrawn. By the time we have seen Sidhu Moose Wala was killed brutally with a lot of bullets which had been fired by the shooters, and this issue had already been gone to the Punjab and Haryana High Court, where the High Court had pulled up the state government saying that they should give a written reply under what circumstances they have withdrawn this security, have they assessed the threat perception or not. On that, today the hearing was going on in Punjab and Haryana High Court, and finally the state government had given a reply in the court saying that on 7th of June that security will be restored to all the 424 people, because the security had been taken in wake of the Blue Star anniversary, and keeping in view of a law and order situation, this decision has been taken. But somewhere down the lane, it seems that it has become one of the major political issue in the state, and today the way this reply had been given in the court, it seems that a government was at the back foot, and finally they had decided to restore the security, because it's the border state. We have seen not only opposition party, even a lot of people, whether it's the police officer or maybe retired bureaucrats, they are raising this question that it's a border state. We need to be more caution, and there was no assessment, no procedure was followed by the state government, and the security had been withdrawn. And due to this security withdrawal, we have seen Sidhu Moose Wala was also killed, and it had become one of the major issues during his murder also. So today we have seen that the Aam Aadmi Party was at the back foot in the court, and finally the state government had given a reply saying that the security will be restored from 7th June onward.
Right.
They had also mentioned in the court that it was a temporary withdrawal by the state government.
Right.
So let's see on what on 7th June whether the more petitioner will come up in the court or not, because one of the...
I may have to butt in there. Stay with me, because I'm also joined by Anila Singh of the BJP. Anila, BJP right from day one has been questioning this particular security lapse and also blaming it on this particular incident, this particular step that eventually, of course, led to the major gaps in Moose Wala's security. Your response to what the Punjab and Haryana High Court have said, have told the Punjab government?
It is a very timely verdict from Honorable High Court. Because, if we talk about Punjab, we know it very well that the Punjab's law and order situation had not been handled very well by the earlier governments as well. And if we talk about Aam Aadmi Party, perhaps because of some sort of new enthusiasm or to show that nobody is VIP in front of us, they removed security from various people. Security was removed. So, and we saw a very, very sad happening with Moose Wala. So definitely it is a good instruction from High Court to the government, because Aam Aadmi Party must understand one thing. Though they are so inexperienced, but they must understand one thing, that they are playing with fire. So just portraying themselves to be a very different type of government is not going to prove anything. Rather, it is going to take lives of people. I mean, if I give benefit of doubt, they might have thought that there are many people who take security just because of status symbol, but we should not gauge everybody from that point of view. From like, we cannot see everyone from one glass. So I think it is a good move.
Right. Anila Singh, stay with me, because I'm also joined by Vikram Singh, who is the former DGP of UP. Vikram Singh, thank you so much for speaking to Mirror. I appreciate your time. Of course, we've now seen the order by the Punjab and Haryana High Court. Your reaction to this also, do you think this sort of pushes the Punjab government to relook at its original decision of stripping the VIPs of their security?
Absolutely. As always, I salute the solemn orders passed by the Punjab and Haryana High Court, and this decision of the Punjab government in any case was a very irresponsible, knee-jerk reaction and a cavalier decision to scale down the security whimsically and to give it to the press. This is with a lot of application of mind and the long-term ramification and consequences. Only then the security is either upgraded or scaled down. In this case, the consequences, the horrific consequences that we have witnessed, they were best avoided and were totally avoidable. They have blood on their hands, and I do hope they learn their lessons. And the rap by the Honorable High Court is one thing that will be an eye-opener, not only for the government of Punjab, but for all those governments who take decisions on the basis of political expediency and not on the basis of administrative propriety.
Right. You did mention that it was a knee-jerk reaction, and however, restoring the security of 434 VIPs, do you think this will sort of ensure that it's given enough, that enough protection is given to the VIPs despite having the security in place, or do you think the existing security measures that these VIPs have also need certain further upgradation?
Good heavens, no. You have to create a security environment, an ecosystem of security that everybody is safe, including you and me who move without security in those areas. And to give a security is on the basis who have extra threat perception, they can be given security on the basis of the threat perception. But the ecosystem of security has to be such that anybody moving without the security should feel safe, dusk to dawn, morning to evening. And if that does not happen, well, the Punjab police and any government have a lot of answering to do, because in a population of 2 crores, if there are 500 gangsters at large, well, things are horribly wrong as far as crime control is concerned and law and order are concerned.
Right. Also, Mr. Singh, the court has also commented on, of course, the document leak in this particular case, where, remember, the 434 names in this particular document were leaked in the media. However, it is too short a notice. The day, it was just a day earlier when the Punjab government gave this order and they pulled off the security of all the VIPs, and immediately the next day you had Moose Wala's murder. But do you think sort of this could be linked, that it was because the document was leaked and that because it was revealed, or it was a public knowledge that Moose Wala didn't have any security, that this actually made easier for the killers to target him?
No, I would like to keep the record straight and in perspective. You see, it was not a leak, it was a deliberate press release that was given. A press release and the Twitter handle also goes to show that it has been scaled down. In fact, it is like saying, it is akin to saying, I have removed the locks of the treasury and anybody is welcome to help himself on the treasury and the loot of the government silver and the jewelry. It was as horrific as that. Now coming to the fact, in any case, Sidhu Moose Wala was being pursued very, very vigorously by the gangsters, and they were waiting in ambush. The moment they got the signal that the security has been scaled down, they went for the kill, and the rest is history. I wish such a tragedy should never happen in future also. This is an administrative tragedy which was best avoided, and the people bungled into and walked into the trap of political expediency.
Right. So administrative tragedy, that's what Vikram Singh is of the opinion of. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to Mirror Now. Appreciate your time. Well, time to slip in a short break now, but stay tuned. Lots more on the other side.